talk about syllable types. So let's back up a little and talk about what is a syllable. So a syllable is a unit of spoken language with a vowel sound. So an easier way to kind of define that for kids is a word or part of a word with one vowel sound. And I always say this, but it's all about the vowels when we're teaching decoding and spelling. So teaching syllable types, it helps students because it helps them see patterns in words, and then these patterns help them to know how words are going to be pronounced and what the vowel sound is going to be. So I'm going to go through the syllable types. The first syllable type we teach, and the most common, is closed syllables. And a closed syllable is when the vowel is closed in by a consonant. So when you're first teaching, having the color coordinated vowels and consonants can be really helpful. So we'll start with a simple word like sat. So we find our vowel, and as you can see, the vowel is closed in because we read from left to right. So that vowel is closed in by this consonant. So the vowel is going to represent the short A sound, ah. Now it doesn't matter what's on this side, and I always want to point that out. So the word at, still closed in. It doesn't matter that it's like opened on that side because we're talking about, we read from left to right. So this is another closed syllable, and it can have more than one closing in. So like the word ask. So it's closed in by those consonants. And we know that this is still a one syllable word because there is one vowel sound. And just a reminder that vowel sounds, we have to open our mouths to produce a vowel sound, whereas we do not for the consonant sounds. The next syllable type we teach is open syllables. So it's the opposite of closed syllables, where when you're looking at the syllable, it ends with a vowel, a single vowel, and that vowel will represent that long sound. So B. There's nothing closing it in. Now, again, it's the end of a syllable. In this case, it is the end of a word, but if you were to add to it and make it the word begin, now it's a two-syllable word. There are two vowel sounds, and B is the first syllable, and it is open, and gin is the second syllable, and it is closed. Next, we have the silent E syllable type, and I'm going to make the word game. And for this syllable type, we do have two written vowels, but it's important to note that there's one vowel sound, game. The A is the vowel that we hear. So with the E being silent, they call it the non-syllabic E, it does not count as like an extra syllable, even though it is a vowel letter, because it doesn't represent a sound. So this is the pattern we look for, vowel, consonant, E, and in this case, that E helps that A say its name. So that is the silent E syllable type. I think vowel teams are the trickiest because there are so many different vowel teams. So vowel team is when there are two or more letters that together represent one vowel sound. So an example, in the word rain, we have two vowel letters, but those two letters are actually a grapheme where together they represent one sound. They represent the A sound. So even though we see two vowels, we need to teach our students that those two vowels actually together represent one sound, and it's a vowel sound. So it's still one syllable. And if we say the word rain, our chin drops once, and that's that vowel. We're opening our mouth for that vowel sound. Now, something else to note is that IGH is considered a vowel team. And even though there's, G and H, you think of their consonants, but in this case, the IGH, well, the GH doesn't make a sound, but also the IGH together is going to just represent that long I sound. And I used to always wonder, is W a vowel? Sometimes, because when you put it with O, it makes that O sound, and it can also make that ow sound, which is another vowel sound. But here's how I look at it now. It's not that W becomes a vowel. It's that the letters OW together form a grapheme that represents a vowel sound. It represents the sound O, and it represents the sound ow. And then when we put that E in front of it, it's not that the W becomes a vowel, it's that it becomes a part of the grapheme, EW, that represents the sound oo or U in a few cases. So I hope that's helpful. Whoopsies. So there are many, many different vowel teams. So that one's kind of a tricky one, but it's important for our students to learn that still when those two are together, they represent that one vowel sound. I also want to note that there aren't just long and short vowels. Many vowel teams represent sounds that are not long or short, like ow and oi and as in book. So we're learning different vowel sounds there as well. With R controlled vowels, what happens is the vowels no longer represent their long or their short sounds, because when the vowel is before the R, it has to be before the R. We need to teach our students that when the vowel is before the R, together they make a new sound. So AR together is going to make the sound R, and that counts as the vowel sound. So we have B, arn, and we switch out the A and put O, and now OR represents the OR sound. If we put the U there, now the UR represents the sound. And it's really important because if we move the R in the consonants, it makes it, the vowel no longer is an R controlled vowel, and will make a different sound. Last, we have a really unique syllable type. Now, here's what's unique about this one. First of all, it's never a word by itself. It's always at the end of a word. It's a syllable at the end of a word. And it's the only syllable type where we can't really distinctly hear the vowel sound. It is another non-syllabic E, so an E that doesn't make a sound, silent E. So if I take a look at this word, sample, this first syllable here is a closed syllable, right? Because the vowel is closed in. And this is our consonant LE syllable type. And it's exactly how it sounds. It's any consonant, well, not any, most consonants can be here. And then the letters LE. And again, we don't really hear that E sound. We pronounce this pull. So what's cool about this syllable type is this can really help us with the decoding, because once you see this syllable type here, once you see, ooh, there's an LE and I see a consonant before it, that's the consonant LE syllable type. It can really help kids because they know now that that's a syllable on its own. And so then here's that first syllable, and you can clearly see it's closed. I'm going to switch it up and make the word maple. Same thing, I see, ooh, consonant LE syllable type. I see this other vowel here, and now I can clearly see this is open. So it's going to say may, to make maple.